Hello family and friends, my name is Nathan and I'm making a video diary of my road to Busselton. Now before this video I've been counting up in weeks, but today marks 10 weeks to go. So I'm now going to count down from obviously today 10 weeks to go. So we've just finished, I've finished build week 1 and it's been quite a tumultuous week. One I would largely want to put behind me, but let's get into it. I've got a set schedule I go through, so away we go. How am I feeling? Well, now because of some recovery from the week, I would say back to 9 out of 10, which is a very good place to be starting the new week. Also, I need to add that what made things a little more difficult was that this week I was doing evening night shift. So that means when there's 2 sessions to be done, which there usually is, they'll have to be done before starting the afternoon shift. At least in my situation, that's what I choose to do rather than trying to do it a session at midnight or sometime after. So my training distances for the week. Swimming 9.5, so I'm quite happy with that. My cycling was 169. Now that's quite down, and you'll hear more on that. Running 30, which in my opinion on an Ironman preparation is an absolute minimum that we need to be doing. My weight this week 83 averaging. I've included my resting average heart rate over the week, and that is actually up 1 point to 48. Now, in times gone past, when certainly things been in a rhythm, etc., I've been down as low as 45, 44. So being up this high definitely indicates the type of week that I've had. So things learnt from the training. I have nothing in this category at the moment again. Right, injuries and niggles. I forgot to mention this one last week, but the Thursday before my Sunshine Coast race, where I mentioned that I was riding home in the rain and fell off my commuting bike, took a fair amount of bark off the elbow, just above the elbow, which just happens to be where you put your elbows, forearms, on your aero pads or elbow pads. And this is how it is at the moment. Probably a little hard to make out, but there's a little bit off. And certainly I put a cover over it because it sort of breaks and oozes only a little bit. But of course the pressure on it by the pads makes things quite difficult. And I think as a consequence, it's possibly going to stretch out some of the recovery there. So it finally loses the scab and the new skin comes through. But hoping for that because that's just annoying at the moment. Now the other thing going on, if you've been following me, is my Achilles tendonitis. If you know much or you've been there before, it is slow progress provided you are actually doing the stretching, but more importantly, strengthening work. So making good progress, certainly not clear, but making good progress. Equipment and maintenance. Well, towards the end of my ride yesterday, my longer ride, I broke a spoke on my rear Zip 808 wheel. Not cool, but that's what happens when you put significant pressure through it. Good news, I fitted and tested my Profile Design Aero HC bottle. I'd been having difficulties with position and up and down position between the handlebars, and I'm happy with those results. Also mentioned I needed to clean my hydration vest for some of the sessions this week, and I did that and we're all good again. So now with equipment, and I already just covered that, achievements and failures. So because it was such a bit of a horror week, I thought I'd talk it through, and you can decide, although pretty easy to work out, which was achievements and failures. So kicking off the week, Monday was a swim, and as expected, I did well. So I was very happy with that swim. Then I did a leg session in the gym, which was as I said, legs, but a little bit of lower back sort of work, just to put some strength in there. So we're sitting well on Monday. Tuesday was one of my favourites. Now, it was hill reps. So that's 8 to 10 minutes, and then you turn and go down and go again. So I ended up choosing 12 minutes. Maybe should have listened to the coach and kept it at 8. Anyway, I think I did about 6 of them because it was about 90 minutes all up. So I did do a warm up. I did my 12-minute reps. I'm pretty sure there was 5. And then, of course, did a warm down. But there was certainly some significant load. And the reason you do this particular session is building resilience. It's about time under tension. The cadence is around 35 to 40. So that's quite low. And proved that type of session does prove to have significant benefits with developing some really good torque. When you're going up hills, others will go much slower and you'll be able to continue to power up it. So that one certainly took its toll on me, but then the next day, on Wednesday, I had an 18k run at 5-minute pace. Now, in my world, that's a moderate effort, not an easy effort. That requires some work, and of course, remembering that I'm on evening night shifts, puts the time of day where it starts to get quite warm here. So I made it, but I absolutely had to work, and certainly in the last, I think, half an hour, I was very close to max heart rate. I think I was around definitely over 80, but punching 90%. So that absolutely took its toll, and I stopped commuting on the Wednesday. So after that session, I did not ride to work, I drove. And then Thursday was a 2-hour trainer session. So we've got the Tuesday hill repeats, the Wednesday long moderate run. Now this was 3 rounds of varying intensity repetitions. And after the first round, so rounds 2 and 3, I did not consistently hit my numbers. So I'm calling that a fail. That was, just not being able to recover well enough from both of those 2 sessions. So no commuting Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, which if you've been following my numbers is why the bike numbers are down significantly. Now, Friday, so the recovery is starting to happen, and there was an endurance swim, which I did well, and I was very happy with that type of session. Now, Saturday, as I mentioned before, is my long-awaited bike fit. Now, so the bike fit was done. Now, probably the biggest thing that happened, and it is significant, and that was a 40mm forwards movement of the seat, the saddle, if you will. And sometimes it is that you don't want to make such an aggressive movement too early. So now, unfortunately, took off on the ride, and within about 20 minutes, I had significant knee trouble, and I basically persisted through it for probably about another hour before I worked out what was really going on. It turned out the bike fitter did not secure the seat post correctly, and it had been sinking slowly. So anyway, I got off. So this is about an hour and 24 into a 3-hour ride, and saw that I was right. But little too much too late, and certainly there was significant wind going on as well. So even though I had to guess, because I didn't have a tape measure with me, nor did I know what the amount to lift it to, so I took a bit of a guess, and it did feel better. So I rode back, and so that was 2 hours 15 and 15 minutes because of the wild wind that was going on. Then I had a 1-hour run, also at 5-minute pace. Now the bike fit was at 8 o'clock, so of course there was about 2 hours, and I also had to go and get a 2mm shim to put under my left cleat, because he believed that my left leg is slightly shorter than the right, so that I've been reaching, and that's what's led to the 2 or 3 issues that are happening on the left side of my body. So Unfortunately, the bike ride clearly cannot be declared as a fair test of the fit. So anyway, back to the run. That was quite a warm run. Unfortunately, I had a toilet interruption at 9k, so I had to stop and fix that up. And then finished off the run. So a very good effort after such a horror bike ride from the seat post sliding downwards. It's a very good effort from obviously I had some wind assistant running and I had some wind resistance running. So a good effort in those conditions to be able to hold that 5-minute pace. Sunday swim today, I did very well, and that has indeed helped me recover. So next week is build week 2. Now the week ahead, tomorrow there's a very easy 10k run to start the week in a new pair of Kayanos that I've got. So I've been really excited to give them a go. I'm really looking forward to testing them out. Tuesday, an hour and 16 bike trainer. So this will be the first proper short test of the position to see how we go. Then there's a small 30-minute core session, which is the same one that happened on Tuesday last week after my ride. Wednesday, an 18k run again at 5-minute pace. Now this will be earlier, so the conditions should be easier. And then we have another 2-hour rolling hills stationary bike, which will be a further test of the position. So this is critical because we need comfort, and then therefore we should be able to deliver significant power. So provided those 2 tests go well, the Saturday ride is a 4-hour ride, which is a building intensity in every hour. And then a 1 hour 15 run off, which is an easy run off. So this is a super important week. I don't want to be behind in the bike situation because that's the most challenging part of the day and the part that really needs to go well to set up a good run at the end of the Ironman triathlon. So, and Sunday, just like today, but slightly longer, an endurance swim, which will help with recovery. So I'm actually looking forward to that. So the bike fit is super important for those reasons I was talking about. And it's quite expensive as well. So certainly I need that sort of help, and we are looking for the results. So if you would share this video, give it a thumbs up or subscribe, that would be helpful. And if you'd like to see my Garmin info, then certainly put in the comments you'd like me to send you a Garmin request, and you can have a look at the training data. Have a good week, and talk to you again at the end of build week 2, which will be 9 weeks to go. Have a good week. Bye for now.